What happened during those 30 minutes remains a mystery to this day. The story of American Airlines Flight 142, an unexplained mystery. Introduction. American Airlines Flight 142 was a regularly scheduled passenger flight from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport to Los Angeles International Airport, LAX. The aircraft, a Boeing 767-300, was a reliable workhorse for many airlines around the world, known for its fuel efficiency, long-range capability, and safety record. On the day in question, the weather was clear and no unusual events were reported during takeoff. Flight had 176 passengers and 10 crew members on board, including Captain Mark Reynolds, a veteran pilot with over 20,000 flight hours, and First Officer Lisa Graham, a rising star in the aviation world with nearly 8,000 hours of experience. The passengers on board range from business travelers to families heading to Los Angeles for vacations, all anticipating a smooth and uneventful flight. But what began as an ordinary journey through the skies would quickly turn into one of aviation's most perplexing mysteries: the flight path. The flight departed DF at 12:45 p.m. CST, ascending smoothly to its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. Initial communication with Air Traffic Control, ATC, was routine, and the flight path over Texas and New Mexico showed no abnormalities. The crew expected to make their scheduled landing in Los Angeles after roughly 3 hours of flight time. As the plane crossed into Arizona airspace, the first signs of trouble began. At approximately 2:30 p.m., the aircraft hit sudden turbulence, which, while initially mild, grew in intensity. Turbulence over the southwestern desert was not uncommon, and the flight crew reassured passengers over the intercom that everything was under control. But within minutes, the situation became far more unusual: the disappearance. At 2:42 p.m., something inexplicable occurred. The aircraft suddenly veered off its course, as if caught in a force beyond the crew's control. The plane rapidly descended from 35,000 feet to 28,000 feet, triggering alarms in the cockpit. ATC tried to contact the flight, but no response came from the crew. Flight 142 had disappeared from radar for an alarming 30 minutes, leaving the aviation world in complete disbelief. Military response teams scrambled fighter jets to intercept the plane, now flying erratically. Pilots in the fighter jets reported seeing the aircraft behaving unpredictably, swerving and climbing without any apparent reason. The Boeing 767's flight pattern was inconsistent with standard aviation procedures. What was happening on board? The crew's struggle. Inside the cockpit, Captain Reynolds and First Officer Graham were facing a crisis they had never encountered before. The autopilot had disengaged, and the navigation systems were feeding them conflicting data. The flight instruments indicated they were at an altitude much higher than they were actually flying, confusing the crew. Despite their training, they struggled to maintain control of the aircraft. Adding to the chaos, several passengers later reported strange phenomena during the period of turbulence. Some described seeing unusual lights outside the window, flickering in the clouds, while others heard a deep, mechanical sound coming from the wings. Panic spread among the passengers as oxygen masks were deployed. Yet, the flight attendants, despite the growing tension, maintained order. The mysterious lights. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of the event was reports of unexplained lights seen by passengers and crew. Multiple eyewitnesses claimed to have seen bright, pulsating lights near the aircraft, moving in a pattern unlike any conventional aircraft or natural phenomenon. Some described them as glowing orbs that hovered near the wings. Others claimed they saw flashes of light below the plane. Reports of these lights led to speculation about the involvement of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, or advanced military technology being tested in the region. Arizona is home to several military bases, including the infamous Area 51, which added fuel to the conspiracy theories. Restoring contact. At 3:12 p.m., 30 minutes after the initial disappearance, ATC finally re-established communication with Flight 142. When asked what had happened, Captain Reynolds seemed confused, stating that everything was now under control. The crew reported no significant mechanical failures, though they were still off their original course and at a lower altitude. A TC guided them back onto a proper heading toward Los Angeles. The remainder of the flight proceeded without further incident, and Flight 142 touched down at LAX 17 p.m. PST, about 30 minutes behind schedule. Emergency services awaited the plane, but there were no injuries or signs of a major malfunction. The investigation. In the aftermath of the incident, the FAA and the NTSB launched a full investigation. All flight data and cockpit voice recordings were recovered for analysis. While the recordings showed elevated stress levels in the cockpit, particularly during the 30-minute period of turbulence, they provided no clear explanation for what caused the navigation issues or the erratic flight behavior. The official report cited severe atmospheric disturbances as the most likely cause, but this explanation did not satisfy many experts. Meteorological data showed no evidence of significant weather phenomena in the area at the time. The theories ranged from electrical malfunctions and navigation system failures to electromagnetic interference from unknown sources. Some even speculated that the aircraft had encountered a form of spatial anomaly or disturbance, similar to the so-called Bermuda Triangle phenomena, though such ideas were dismissed by the scientific community as speculative. Unanswered questions. Years after the incident, American Airlines Flight 142 remains an unresolved aviation mystery. Despite the official report, many questions linger. What caused the sudden disappearance from radar? Why did the navigation systems fail? And what were the lights seen by passengers? For many, the lack of concrete answers has led to the rise of conspiracy theories, ranging from UFO involvement to secret military tests in the Arizona desert. The airline, however, has consistently maintained that Flight 142 was simply an extraordinary, though ultimately explainable, case of severe turbulence and navigation errors. Legacy. Today, American Airlines Flight 142 is remembered not for any loss of life or major disaster, but for the mystery it still holds. Aviation enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists alike continue to debate the true cause of the strange events that unfolded on that flight. Some passengers and crew members from the flight, still haunted by what they witnessed, have gone on record saying they believe something far more extraordinary happened that day than what was officially reported. Lasting mystery and investigation. Following the bizarre events of American Airlines Flight 142, the FAA and the NTSB launched an exhaustive investigation to determine the root cause of the incident. Flight data and cockpit recordings were analyzed in detail, but they provided few clues. While the crew experienced severe turbulence and navigation issues, the investigators were unable to identify any specific mechanical failure or system malfunction that would explain the aircraft's erratic behavior and temporary disappearance from radar. The final report cited severe atmospheric disturbances as the probable cause, but this conclusion raised more questions than answers. Meteorological data from the time of the flight showed no significant storms, winds, or atmospheric anomalies in the area where the aircraft encountered its problem. Additionally, many experts noted that typical turbulence, no matter how severe, would not account for the communication blackout, the plane's sudden descent, or the strange behavior reported by both the crew and passengers. Eyewitness reports from those on board added to the mystery. Numerous passengers and even some crew members described seeing strange lights outside the aircraft during the critical moments. These lights, described as glowing orbs or flashes, moved in patterns that did not resemble any known aircraft or natural phenomenon. Some witnesses even claimed the lights seemed to be following the plane or hovering near its wings. These accounts led to a wave of speculation about unidentified flying objects, UFOs, or advanced military technology in the area. Arizona, where the plane was flying during the event, is home to several military installations and is not far from the infamous Area 51, fueling conspiracy theories that classified experiments could have interfered with the flight. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, these theories persist to this day. Some experts have suggested that electromagnetic interference from advanced technology, such as radar systems or military aircraft, might have caused the plane's navigation systems to malfunction. Others believe the crew might have flown into an area of the atmosphere with unique and unusual properties that interfered with both the plane's instruments and its ability to communicate. To this day, no definitive explanation has been found. The incident is remembered as one of the most unusual and perplexing cases in modern aviation. The unsolved nature of the event continues to spark interest and debate among aviation experts, conspiracy theorists, and UFO enthusiasts. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, these theories persist to this day. Some experts have suggested that electromagnetic interference from advanced technology, such as radar systems or military aircraft, might have caused the plane's navigation systems to malfunction. Others believe the crew might have flown into an area of the atmosphere with unique and unusual properties that interfered with both the plane's instruments and its ability to communicate. To this day, no definitive explanation has been found. The incident is remembered as one of the most unusual and perplexing cases in modern aviation. The unsolved nature of the event continues to spark interest and debate among aviation experts, conspiracy theorists, and UFO enthusiasts.